Well, come on inside and get yourself something cool to drink.
And let's have an uncomfortable conversation.
Hey, Voch.
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all for being here, man. Welcome. Come on in. Top of the morning. Hey, pardon my voice. It's still not 100% and as thunderous as it should be. But you'll get glimpses of it feeling like it's healthy. And every now and then. So please, pardon me in advance. Shouts out to Bleach Report for having me here. The Bleach Report app, download the Bleach Report app. Tell a friend to download the Bleach Report app. And why don't you give the follow to the Cowboy tab, the NFL draft tab, because I promise you, I'll be popping up on them tabs at some point. Or just follow Voch Lombardi. It just is what it is. Follow Voch Lombardi. Listen, man. Let's have a weird little conversation. Y'all ready for a weird little conversation? Coming into this offseason, let's back up a little bit more. Let's just say coming into the season, right? Into last season. You wouldn't expect cornerback to be a big problem or to be something that you're going to be looking for. As you go through the season, you know, corner may be a need that sounds kind of sneaky. The one thing we always wish for, or at least I always wish for, and I would always coin the phrase is a Teflon secondary. If y'all been listening to me talk for a while, y'all have heard me talk about the Teflon secondary. And the idea of the Teflon secondary came from, all the Chris Richard days or the Marinelli days or the Mike Nolan days, right? Where we'll have a good ass corner on one side. And I don't want to call a professional athlete terrible on the other side. Let's just say mucho mal on the other side, right? And what we learned is just because you're good at one corner don't mean that you're good at correct. Just because you're good at one corner don't mean you're good at both. That's like having an all-pro left tackle and you just assume that your left tackle is good enough to make your bad right guard better. That ain't how this works. So when I think about my Teflon secondary, I always thought about these coverage units like, man, we finally get, Deron Bland, Diggs, and Gilmore on the field together. That's when the magic was going to happen. Jordan Lewis ended up being one of your better corners in that skirmish or whatever, but Trey Diggs to go out there and tie the record for picks in a season. He'll go and get 11 or 12, whatever Everson Walls' record was. And we'll be like, damn, Trey, we just got to get you another corner because they keep throwing the ball over there to Anthony Brown. You know what I'm saying? Like Trey Diggs' greatness didn't make Anthony Brown great. And then Deron Bland joins the party as this unassuming character. And, we had some high hopes for Deron Bland his first year. But when Deron Bland showed how solid he was his first year, we really wanted to do a little hammer dance for the idea of, all right, Deron Bland, Trey Diggs, figure out cornerback 2. And we'll go from there. Jay Lou was hurt while this was going on. Deron Bland emerges as a superstar and breaks the pick 6 record. But while that's happening, Trey gets hurt. Deron Bland goes through growing pains as cornerback 1 that he normally wouldn't be going through. But hey, Gilmore's there to save us. But that don't mean we was good at nickel. Just because we good at 2 guys on the outside don't mean we was good at nickel. Gilmore leaves and somehow Jordan Lewis still ends up being your best corner through all this nonsense. And we finally get a feel for what Diggs and Bland and Jordan Lewis looks like, which would be Teflon. Then Diggs gets hurt, man. So it's like we never found out that. Y'all remember this myth that was going around about Dak and his weapons? You know what I'm saying? The idea that Cooper and Lamb and Gallup was all healthy at the same time. And that was false.
It's false. No way. Not this.
That wasn't real. Just like we never really got games of Cooper, Gallup, and Lamb, we never got games of Diggs, Bland, and you can interchange Jordan Lewis and Gilmore. You could just you could just change those out. We never got Teflon corner. Trey Diggs got hurt last season. Again, he got hurt last season. Ladies and gentlemen, I was so tapped out of Cowboy land, I didn't even realize Jordan Lewis. He got hurt too. I didn't even realize that Trevon Diggs was hurt last year. I didn't even know. And he didn't just get kind of hurt. Trevon Diggs got, I might miss 2025 hurt. Okay. So now Trey Diggs, who's under this contract that the Cowboys can allegedly get out of, maybe, I heard these rumors that maybe he wasn't attacking rehab aggressively like he should. When you hear rumors about Overshawn, they say, oh, Overshawn attacks rehab. He gets to it. And he comes back on a healthy timetable and he's good to go. It was just rumors floating around that Trey Diggs wasn't that aggressive with his rehab. And all of a sudden, while the Cowboys are at the combine doing combine things, and Jerry Jones is shockingly quiet at the combine, we just hear these rumors, you know what I'm saying? Like Osa getting his money allegedly. They working on Osa, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure they're at the combine watching players, because what the hell else you do at the combine besides watch players get medicals and shake hands with agents? But there was this other report that came out. I don't know how true it is. It's just been floating around. And I think it's worth talking about because the rumor makes a little sense. The rumor was that the Cowboys were entertaining the idea of trying to trade or flat out cutting Trevon Diggs, who is injured, by the way. So now this idea that you might want to throw a little something at corner turns into a sneaky need, turns into we need motherfucking corners. Badly, right? And I think one of the biggest issues with that is trying to lean on Kalen Carson too much. Why are we trying to lean on Kalen Carson to be a guy? It ain't time for Kalen Carson to be a guy. Unless Kalen Carson emerges like that, but based on what we saw, I don't think Kalen's gonna emerge like that. Okay, so let's look at our roster. We got a little something to listen to. Let's look at our roster with context of Diggs just being missing. Let's just say he's missing, and the possible free agent issues that we have. Okay, let's have a conversation here, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, man, let's get to it. I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me, man. Let's get to it, man. All right, here we are. Cowboy corners right now. Trevon Diggs is right there, but let's just pretend like he don't exist. Let's just pretend like that rumor is true, because even if Trey Diggs is around, ain't like Trey Diggs gonna play. Deron Bland is listed as your right corner. Cool. Kalen Carson is listed over here on the left, so I don't think sides really matter at this point. Armani Oruwariye, he's not in this equation. Israel Mukuamu, not in this equation. Jordan Lewis, who's a free agent, and I haven't heard nobody say nothing about re-signing Jordan Lewis. Kemon Hall, which I like, but he's like a practice squad I like. You know what I'm saying? Like I like as a dude that, yeah, man, if you just stay on your horse and pull yourself up by your bootstraps in year 7, we might can call upon you. Like that's how much I like Kemon Hall. Pardon me. CJ Goodwin don't exist. Andrew Booth, I wish he didn't exist. So your cornerback room is depleted right now. It's almost like you are forced to have to look at corner in free agency and in the draft, by the way. I think the Cowboys are probably going to draft a corner anyway, like regardless. Like they can sign 5 cornerback free agencies, and bring Jordan Lewis back. I still think the Cowboys are going to draft a corner. The Cowboys like to shoot dice and throw darts at corner. Because if you play a lot of nickel, you need 3 corners, and 3 out of 11 players, that's like what? Like 29% or something, 28. I can't do the math, but that's like 28% of your defense. You need corners. Bland is going to be fine. We know that. Let's just say you don't re-sign Jordan Lewis, and let's just say Trey Diggs gets cut or he's just hurt, whatever. We need it all. So let's take a look at some free agents here. Let's just take a look at free agents here. Let's click available so that we can really narrow this down here. Okay. So let me say this. And I'll start it off by saying this. The Cowboy Illuminati, well, pardon me, not the Cowboy Illuminati, that's a different set of people. The Bleacher Report Illuminati, they tapped me on the shoulder. And they said, Voch, we would love to ask you what you think about XYZ, and can you respond to this on your live today, right? Voch, what do you think about the idea of Darius Slay signing to the Cowboys? And I was like, okay. I immediately asked, like, was that news or something? Because I didn't see nothing about it. But then I went to the internet and I saw that Darius Slay had been cut. So I'm going to compound this answer of what I know about the Cowboys and how I personally feel. Darius Slay wouldn't personally be a target that I would go after. I'm more so looking to draft. That's more so my thing, right? I would much rather have faith in my draft evaluation, because when you watching rookies or draft picks, you at least have a feel of where they're going upwise, right? If a player's getting older and Slay is like 34, they're going down, but you have no clue where that down is, right? When you think about corners that have been the best corner ever in life before, right? Like Richard Sherman had his year as the best corner in life. Josh Butler had his best year as the best corner in life. And all of a sudden, they just kind of not the best corner no more. They just not great at all no more. Like, why does this happen? This happened because, well, you just got this much of cornerback superpowers before the league catches up to you, and now you're gone. I don't want to, put free agent resources into that. Where the Cowboys come into play, Darius Slay right now is a very popular name. And if I can give my Cowboys credit for one thing, they care nothing about how popular your name is. Did you hear what I said?
Did you hear what I said?
The Cowboys care more so about the amount of talent you have versus the dollar amount that is going to take to acquire your services. Now, you're probably saying, well, Voch, isn't that what all teams are looking for when they sign the free agents? Nah, because some teams will pay you $20 million just because your name is Deebo Samuel. All right. But what the Cowboys do, and I love this about them, and it works for them and it works against them sometimes. The name Darius Slay is not going to make them pay however much $1 million for Darius Slay. The Cowboys would rather, whatever league minimum is, I call it $38 just to have fun and be silly here. Whatever the league minimum is, the Cowboys will sign a tomato can for league minimum before they sign Darius Slay just because his name is Darius Slay. They'll sign a can of Campbell's chicken noodle tomato soup for $38 a year before they sign Darius Slay just because his name is Darius Slay. Okay. Some Cowboy fans may dislike that because they feel like, well, the Cowboys aren't aggressively throwing money at a need, right? But Cowboy fans should be happy that we're not just throwing money at anybody. Y'all remember back in the day when y'all wanted Jerry Jones to be super aggressive and he started throwing 2 first-round picks at Roy Williams, the wide receiver, not Roy Williams, the safety? Y'all remember that? We don't want Jerry Jones to go back to those days. I like the kind of conservative nature of Steven and Will McClay and the face of what Jerry is. So in real life, is Darius Slay an option for the Cowboys? No. Can Darius Slay still play? Yeah, probably so. Will Darius Slay fall off? He's 34. I don't know. But the Cowboys would much rather pay a Nolan Carroll or Darryl Worley. And that's not me speaking in hyperbole. Like, that's what the Cowboys will. They'll literally sign those guys and be like, hey, we ready to play a game right now. Trayvon Mullen, they'll sign those kind of guys for cheap rather than sign somebody for expensive, right? I think the only pushback that you could possibly give is, well, but Voch, what about Gilmore, right? Stephon Gilmore was a player that the Cowboys brought in, and he's an older player. He's a name. Right, but I think Stephon Gilmore's talent was a little higher. Stephon Gilmore's contract wouldn't be long-term, and Stephon Gilmore was like a 6th-round pick in a trade situation, which is totally different. Now, will the Cowboys send a draft pick to some player that's on some team that's signed for some cheaper amount of money for a short period of time? Hell yeah, that's what the Cowboys will do. But will they drop even $5 million on Darius Slay? I don't think so. I don't think so. But let me pull my screen back up. We ain't doing that now. Let me just see what's going on here. Let me pull my screen back up. Let me just pull my screen back up. All right. And Darius Slay last year made 13.7 mil. That's too much for her. Hey, that's too much. Pardon me, that's too much for Darius Slay, though. Stephen Jones paying some. Stephen Jones paying a 34-year-old $13 million. Oh, that's Stephen Jones. No, Stephen Jones. I was go for that. Let me tell you somebody Stephen Jones looking for. Let me tell you somebody, Stephen. You gotta scroll down here a little bit. So there go Darryl Worley right there. He still got a job. Eli Apple. You bet you the Cowboys assign some Eli Apple. Paulson Adebo, what's his market value? Paulson Adebo's market value, $11 million. Let me get out of there. He don't know when Cowboys signed Paulson Adebo. Cowboys signed. You know what? Rocky Sin is a perfect example of who the Cowboys would sign, because the Cowboys love these former high picks, first, second round pick kind of guys. The Cowboys love these former high picks that didn't work out for you, but they'll possibly work out for me. Rocky Sin last year played for $1.2 million. Oh, Stephen Jones rolling around in the damn catnip. That's catnip for Stephen Jones. You kidding me? That's catnip for Stephen Jones. 1.4? He gonna do that all day, every day. Let me see who else. Asante Samuel Jr. What's his market value? I just lost him. Where he at? Where's Asante Samuel Jr.? Where he at? Hold on, chat. I just lost because I'm interested in that one. Let's see what Asante Samuel Jr.'s market value. Let me hold on. Stephen Jones here. Hey, let's go ahead and get up out of there for the 25-year-old. Stephen Jones ain't paying with Asante Samuel. What did he make last year? What did Asante Samuel make last year? He didn't play last year. He was hurt for the Chargers last year, so now he's now he's at the end of his rookie deal. Okay, go. I'm about to say, man. But yeah, Asante Samuel, if his market is like 11, I think Stephen Jones would consider it because he's a young player. But man, Stephen Jones ain't finna pay no $11 million. Stephen Jones ain't finna play no $11 million. Let me just scroll way down to the last name is Nick McLeod. Look, Stephen Jones assigned Nick McLeod to come in and play cornerback for the Cowboys. That what he do. That what he do. Darnay Holmes. Oh yes, indeed. What's Darnay Holmes' market value? $1.3 million. That's right on time for Stephen Jones. That's right on time. Are you kidding me? That's right. Look, a player we sort of recognize. We sort of recognize from his days in New York. $1.3 million, man. Stephen Jones, pay that all day. Pay that all day. Ain't bothering me. Ain't bothering Stephen Jones at all. Who else we got up in here? What's another name? Marco Wilson. I remember him coming out of Florida. Jordan Lewis. Well, I wonder what's Jordan Lewis's market value. 2.3. If Jordan Lewis's market value really is $2.3 million, I think Stephen Jones will resign him. If his market value really is $2.3 million coming off a season where Jay Lou was your best corner again, I think Stephen Jones will pay $2.3 million. And honestly, I think that's a good re-sign. Going back to the depth chart here, I think that's a good re-sign. At least now you can go into the season with Deron Bland, Jordan Lewis, and you at least crossing your fingers about Kalen Carson. I wouldn't lean into it, but you cross your fingers about Kalen Carson, you draft another corner, and you go out there and play. And you just let them dudes compete, man. Let them dudes compete. Who's another one? Who's another one? Tre'Davious White. He's probably good and past his prime right now. He's 30 years old now. He probably ain't what he once was. See, and I remember Tre'Davious White being a fantastic corner. But sometimes you roll out the bed, just not the best cornerback in the league no more. That's just how this works. But hey, former first round pick, $1.4 million, man. Stephen Jones will jump all over this and get Cowboy fans. So, hey, y'all know Trey White, right? Former first round pick Trey White. 30-year-old Trey White. Who's at the top of the board here? I know there's a different Fuller at the top of the board every single year. I just can't even touch on him no more. Travarius Ward, I imagine his value is going to be pretty high. Let's do DJ Reed because I know his value is going to be pretty high. And let's look at Carlton Davis just to kind of see what his is, right? Carlton Davis should be I figured he would have been the highest market out of all the corners, but he's a $13.8 million estimated market value guy per year. Okay. DJ Reed, okay, they got him projected to make a little bit more at 14.7. He'll be a good signing, but this is too much for Stephen Jones. And Travarius Ward, 15.3. It keeps getting higher. Yeah, Stephen Jones ain't dropping no money for none of these guys. And look, he was an undrafted Dallas Cowboy in 2018, and we gave that boy up for some player that ain't even in the league no more. Sometimes when you shoot your dice, you throw them joints, you just throw them in the gutter. You throw them on the nasty floor in the bathroom, man. So we missed on that one, but interesting cornerback conversation. I would love it if we can get a healthy Trey Diggs and a healthy DeRon Bland and a re-signed Jordan Lewis, man. That'll be optimal, man. But I'm just responding to these rumors, and Bleacher Report tagged me on the show and asked me what I thought. So I figured I'd come up here and show y'all a little bit of love today, give y'all a good little take. You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. Why don't y'all follow me on Twitter, VOCHLOMBARDI. Tell a friend to download the Bleacher Report app, and you all should be following the NFL Draft, and the Cowboys tab because I pop up on those, okay? Or just follow Voch Lombardi. You'll get to me much easier that way. All right? Love y'all. 2 pieces. Y'all hold it down until next time. Salute.